Hey everybody, this is Mark. Thanks for coming over. I got a really cool guitar to show you. I'm always interested in innovative guitars that are unique or novel in some way, and I featured so many of these guitars on my channel. Now, I have worked with ENYA before. I've actually reviewed the Nova Ghost Sonic, which was their all carbon fiber LP style guitar, a remarkable instrument, beautiful too. And I reviewed the Next G, which was the carbon fiber acoustic, wildly fun. Now, today I'm lucky enough to actually have an Inspire right there next to me. It's been sitting in my office for a week and I just can't wait to unbox it. This is, again, an all carbon fiber composite super strat guitar. Y'all know I love super strats. So this is going to be an HSS configuration. Let's open it up. Let's take a look at this beauty. One of the cool things about ENYA is they have warehouses all over the world. They have them in the EU, in the US, Canada. So when you order one of these guitars, they get to you very quickly. Mine came to my door in just a couple of days. All right, I got it out of the box. So this Iris model is sort of the signature model of YouTuber Igor Pasal. I love this model for a number of reasons, but one, it's got that really sweet 80s inspired paint splatter with the sort of neon green and the pink, which are kind of my two favorite colors of all time. It also does come with a goodie bag, and in the goodie bag, we have our SRAM arm. We have our little tool for adjusting the truss rod, and this is a heel style spoke wheel truss rod. This is the USB cable. Then we have our charging port. Yes, this is a smart guitar. It's the #1 selling smart guitar. And so we do have to charge it. And then we have another set of tools here for adjusting the 2-point bridge and then the saddles. Even the strap on this, look at the touches on this. The strap itself looks gorgeous. The handle, it's all got that splatter paint job on it. So the inside of the gig bag is lined with this very soft material. I love it. I know we're not here for the gig bag, but it's also really cool to mention that the gig bag is sweet. Right? Stunning. This is a stunning guitar, and we're gonna get into all the specs. As you can see, it's got that really cool paint job on it. So because this is an all carbon fiber construction, this is a carbon fiber composite, the paint job is a matte satin finish. Look at this. Look at the heel, look at this. We're gonna get into all the specs. It's gonna be a good time. There's so many really cool features on this guitar, but let's face it, it's a stunner. Wow. Beautiful guitar, beautiful. All right, let's take a look at this up close. ENYA innovates in a number of ways, but my favorite way by far is their use of carbon fiber. This guitar is made out of a carbon fiber composite, but it's not just the material that makes it special. This material does indeed allow this guitar to be impervious to humidity, temperature, and changes in geographic region. But that's not the cool thing. The cool thing is how they make it, the process. So ENYA uses a casting system where they cast this body in two pieces. And so you have this sandwich system happening with the body here. And it's also chambered to reduce weight. And with the cast system, it allows them to do interesting things like this neck. The neck is an asymmetrical design. So it has a standard C shape, the higher up the frets you are, and then it kind of contours to something just a little bit thicker and almost looks like a V here to really kind of help you with ergonomics and the way you hold a guitar. So making an asymmetrical design is a piece of cake when you're casting a guitar out of carbon fiber like this. So let's start on the back. Let's just point this out. This is ENYA's patented string tensioning system. And so it's basically like your standard sort of spring tensioning system you'd have on a Strat or a Floyd. But you can see it's actually using one of these spoke wheels. And so you can adjust it with any rigid tool, just like you would use for adjusting the heel truss rod adjustment on the neck. It's the same tool. So unlike a traditional instrument where you would need a screwdriver to move this plate, you can use any rigid tool right here to turn this spoke wheel. And look how minimal this design is too. Look how clean it is. It's a very thick plate with a very thick rod and a really, really wide and thick spoke wheel. 3 springs are here, and this whole plate just moves back and forth if you need to adjust the 2-point trim, which we'll take a look at in a bit. So this is a really cool feature. I like to find these little hidden design features. Look at this strap peg. It's on a very unique plane. And so it's hard to show this on camera, but this plane is not only angled in this direction, but it's angled in this plane as well. And so the strap button is not straight with the horn, it's actually angled to meet the geometry of the guitar. That is really cool. Not only does it look cool, but obviously it serves a function. It's actually moving this peg that normally would be way over here, and it's offsetting it this way. There are 3 ports here on the side of the guitar. We have obviously our normal guitar jack here, which is just your normal everyday jack. But we also have the headphone jack, and this is going to be fantastic for silent practicing or silent play. Remember that all the DSP is built into the guitar, and so you can actually practice and hear all those really cool presets just from your headphone jack. And then we have a USB port. This is not just for charging, it serves a dual purpose. You can actually record with that as well. So this is great for sort of on-the-go recording whenever you need to. Nice and thin this guitar is too. Let's see. Whoa. So there is a contour on both sides. I'm trying to measure as best I can, but it's 100% under 40 mils. So it's got to be somewhere around like 36 or 37. And it basically tapers down. And this is something you'd want to do if you were designing the guitar. It kind of tapers down and tapers up a little bit thicker towards the horn. So obviously, because this is designed and cast this way, the arm carve is a nice curve from the center of the body all the way up, and it tapers nice and thin here. We have a 2-point trim in gold, and we have Igor's custom humbucker here. But this is an HSS configuration, and these are ceramic pickups. So on the Nova Go Sonic, they were all Nico, but these are ceramic, so they're going to be a little bit more punchy and articulate so that we can punch through the mix. All gold hardware here, which is quite nice. So we have the gold tip. And this knob is cool because it's push-pull, which allows us to choose between parallel or series configurations of the coil and the humbucker. We have a 24-fret fretboard. We have the ball and fret dressing here. These are immaculate. This whole board is immaculate and beautiful. And all our fret markers are at the very, very top. So we have a 0 nut, also dressed with the ball and fret ends. We have a carbon fiber nut, gold hardware, and very tasteful ENYA logo right there. And this paint on the headstock feels really cool. You can actually feel like the texture of it. Feels nice. The 15-watt speaker is back here, and we can actually turn the guitar on with this button, as well as go through our presets. And I don't know if it has to charge, but I'm going to go ahead and hold it down to see if it does. Nice. So this button lets us switch between the presets. Green is clean. We have this blue, which is going to be sort of our overdrive. We have the sort of like lighter blue, which is our crunch. And then purple is going to be our lead. And then obviously this adjusts some volume. So as I mentioned before, this is the speaker. It is a powerful 15-watt speaker that's basically upgraded from the Nova Go Sonic. So this is going to offer bigger volume and better dynamics. And more importantly, sort of like unmatched convenience. And that's what I want to talk about next. Okay, so I've always had very odd practicing routines. And I don't know how everyone else works, but for me, 90% of the time that I'm playing guitar, I'm playing on the couch. And typically, I'm always grabbing an electric guitar and just playing it without any kind of amplification. This has been me for the last few decades. An electric guitar on the couch, not plugged in. Practicing, writing. And so now having this gives me a lot of possibilities, like endless possibilities with my tones, because I can actually manipulate and custom configure my tones on my app. And if I wanted that amp, I have access to it built in. Or I can actually use the headphone jack and I can have silent practice. So let's go ahead and turn this on real quick on camera right now and see if we can get some really cool sounds out of it. This clean patch is really nice. It's got a lot of reverb to it. You can really hear that reverb when you stop a note. Nice. So I am on the neck single coil. So let's go to a overdrive sound. There's a little bit of tremolo on this patch. Let's go to the next one. All right, cool. The speaker is phenomenal and it's very loud. So what I want to do now is go to the office. So I want to hear these magnetic tones going through my rig. All right, let's get to it. This guitar plays and feels awesome. What impresses me the most is the level of quality and detail on this guitar that rivals boutique instruments. You just heard me play through the magnetic pickups and the 1/4-inch jack through my rig in a full mix. It sounded phenomenal. Earlier in the shop, I was playing through this built-in speaker, recording it with just my lav mic, and it was full, it was rich, and it was loud. Now, I get that a lot of people aren't into instruments with built-in speakers. I get it. But you have to realize that there's a lot of people that can take advantage of an instrument like this. In particular, those who just want to practice wherever they are, record or write wherever they are, and take it wherever they go, regardless of geographic location or weather, because it's made out of carbon fiber and it's not susceptible to humidity or weather changes. The other cool thing I wanted to mention was the app. So right now, I actually had a reverb, a delay, and chorus on. This foot switch allows you to change those presets without having to use the button. This is already really convenient, but if you needed to have sort of hands-free play, you can use your foot and use the foot switch. One of the things that I wanted to mention was I was playing recently through my Teenage Engineering OP1 and my Teenage Engineering KO2. They all have built-in speakers. So you have these sort of European manufacturers that are aware of the value of having a built-in speaker, because it lets you truly take these devices and instruments wherever you go, and you don't necessarily need to have headphones on. I have now all these tools with built-in speakers that allow me to just take them wherever I go, throw them in a backpack. These will actually fit in my gig bag for the ENYA Inspire. Considering you can do everything on your app, it's just nuts, the world we live in today. Okay, so the ENYA Inspire is really cool. I really like it. I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.